So Ken, how's it going?
Good to meet you with you, Josh.
Yeah, no, you too. I've kind of been looking forward to this meeting. I know we've kind of been going back and forth, and we were just kind of throwing in this, but I really think that we can come to an agreement. Like we're really looking forward to this. So.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. How have things been going with the business? You know what you've been talking with them about the situation, and everything. How are you feeling about it?
Good. Everything's lining up. We've got everything set and ready to go. We've got all kinds of satellite stores that are excited to be a part of the mall. And
awesome. Yeah. So have you been into getting a few lined out for the mall?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. We're well on the way. We've got everything all sorted out, and we just got this one little impasse that's standing in our way, but
I know,
I'm confident that we can work it out.
Yeah.
So what are some of your concerns with the location, or just concerns in general that you have?
Right. Initially, we were super excited. We have hundreds of stores throughout the nation, and we were really excited to be able to have this opportunity, to get in with you guys in the mall. And we think it's a great location, and that we could have some great success and be good for you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Your focus kind of, the same kind of customers coming into our stores, and those same customers being able to deal with all the other satellite shops and other stores that are in the mall, right?
Yeah.
Kind of looking at the same kind of customers.
Yeah, definitely. We want to have a discount store in our mall as our anchor. That's the goal.
Yeah. So some of our main things, just that we wrote up that term, that we sent you guys, and then you sent one back, and they're kind of a little bit conflicting,
Mm-hmm.
So really, we just want to look out for our company and for the future. We just want to make sure that everything can go well, and you never know how the economy is going to go, and
sure, yeah,
how everything else is going to go. So we just want to be sure that we're on the same page with you guys as far as what will happen in the future and what the possibilities are. So that's kind of why we wanted to meet with you guys, just to discuss the possibilities of what could happen.
So a discount store is growing. You guys have over 200 locations.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had to close many of them in the past?
We haven't. We are on a pretty steady growth. We're looking forward to keeping that growth constant for the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
And we are concerned in the future, as far as we just want to be able to be in control. Because it's retail, and there's lots of other stores that are exact same as this store, and so we just want to make sure that we're on the same page as all those stores. And if anything happens, any promotions, any advertising that they do, we want to be able to be part of that as well. And so we don't want anything to kind of infringe that that relationship that we have with all the other stores as well.
Right.
As far as you guys go, what made you interested as far as deciding on an anchor store in your mall? What made you interested in choosing us? Or
well, you guys are pretty popular.
Yeah.
And I think what you guys have to offer aligns closely with what our community is demanding. It's the kind of clientele that we want to bring in, the same level of shopper that our satellite stores are designed to support. They can come into your store and then just kind of cruise through the mall and hit up other stores that are interesting to them. It just kind of fits the vibe of the development,
Right.
So, but we're looking for an anchor store that is confident and stable and willing to work with the satellite stores, and we need some commitment from an anchor store for our financing people. If our anchor store is kind of a loose anchor, then they're not as confident as in when it comes to investing in the project.
Right.
So we're just looking for some stability and some assurance that discount stores isn't going to want to pull out really fast or anything.
Right.
So now in your little clause here, it leaves open the opportunity for you guys to really do anything you want, at any time. I mean, instead of opening a discount store, you guys could open a pet store.
Right.
You know, you probably wouldn't, but I mean, there's no protection at all or reassurance offered in what you've put forward thus far.
No, yeah, you put up a fair point. That's kind of what I was thinking. You know, reading ours and then reading the one that you guys sent us as well.
Sure.
I mean, we did state, you know, the premises hereby demise may be used for any lawful purpose, and so
Mhm.
that really does open up the possibilities. And the reason we want your location, I mean, we see success there, we see a future there. The only thing we did decide, we have talked about that initial 25-year term, you know, agreement,
Mhm.
and so we just wanted to outline just a couple of the details that would be involved. You know, during that 25 years, it's a long time.
It is.
And so just the possibilities of what could happen or, you know, I know we don't want a store right next to us that's going to be competing with us, you know, but if
Mhm.
it's, and I'm sure that's not what you guys want either.
No.
As far as the being able to assign the lease or sublet, you know, part of the store, what is your guys' view on that? Would that ever be kind of a possibility to be able to?
Ever? I
do
think
that?
I think that could be a possibility down the road, but we certainly need some upfront stability or commitment to
Right.
maybe a certain time period where you say, well, we're gonna be in this as a discount store,
Yeah.
100% here for maybe a certain number of years, you know. So if we could build in like a 15-year where you're just going to be a discount store with no assignments or subletting,
Mhm.
that would probably bring a good level of stability that we'd need for our financing and to instill confidence in our satellite partners.
Okay. As far as just let's talk about assigning the lease,
Mhm.
because you know, like our future, we never really know how long we're gonna keep the store. We would prefer to be there for 25 years, but you know, with the technology
Sure.
advances and everything, and depending on how much we decide to do online, I mean, we really don't know how long we could stay in that position. Although we would love to be there for 25 years, you know. So just in the case that something might come up, I do like the idea of maybe having a set time period where we are there for sure. But then if we were to make the deal where, say we found another store that was similar to ours or something and they would rather take the space,
Mhm.
how would you guys feel as far as that, as us being able to assign the lease to them? If it were similar, you know, they
Yeah.
carry the same products.
So I get
kind
the
of the same
impression
idea.
that you're not into opening some off the wall crazy lumber yard or something
No,
like that.
for sure, yeah.
So I mean, we want to be reasonable, and I'm sure you guys want to be reasonable. So I mean, if we could build in a certain number of years
Mhm.
where you know you're into this as a discount store, that would be great. And then perhaps at the end of that term, you could reassess, and we could reassess together and negotiate if you wanted another store to come in that was basically a soft goods kind of store,
Right.
the same kind of clientele. Then I can see how that would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere from within that 5 to 10 year. I mean, I'm sure we could figure something out.
I think we got to do at least a minimum of 10 years.
Minimum of 10.
Yeah, just to instill confidence in the development, you know.
Okay.
If somebody is 5 years, I mean, that's barely worth moving in for, you know.
Right.
So.
And so as far as that, we could probably work something out there as far as the leasing goes. We did settle on that initial, 84,000 square feet that we'll have
Yeah.
for our store. I mean, and that's a large amount of space to be able to fill up. If we ever decide to make any changes in our store, we kind of want to just kind of have a say in, you know, what products go where and what products we're going to be selling.
Sure.
And that. So if we wanted to, let's say, sublet even just like a part of the store, like say half of the store, if we ended up getting into that situation where we wouldn't want to use all of that space, would you guys be open to that side of things, as far as just being able to find another, even one of the satellite companies being able to move in the second part of it, and then us taking the rest of it.
You know, I don't know about the satellites. You know, having that anchor space is really good for the mall. So, let's see.
And that would just be in the case, you know, we could even say that just in the case where we're having problems where we can't fill up that space, or depending how customers are viewing our products, you know, which ones are doing better and which ones are not, and if we come out with new ones. So
yeah. Could we go again with the time thing?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that seems like the most reasonable approach to me is to build in, you know, some milestones. So maybe after 5 years you could sublet, and maybe after 10. So after 5 years, sublet would become an option, and then after 10 years, reassignment would become an option.
Okay.
Based on a mutually agreeable contract at that time.
Yeah, that's sounding like a little bit more. I mean, we're kind of coming to something now.
Yeah.
And I did notice on here, just when I was reading you guys' clause, would you guys be okay? I mean, I know we're for the most part a soft goods retail operation, but us as a whole entire store, you know, national store, we are looking at coming out with newer products and even some hard goods, you know, different appliances, larger appliances, washers and dryers and such. So as far as us being able to decide what products we come out with and everything and are selling in that store, we would just like to kind of keep that contingency in there, just to make sure that our focus is on soft goods, but when we, you know, in the future we do see coming out with some harder goods, you know, bigger appliances. So
yeah, you know, that's not a problem.
Okay.
We don't want to, you know, run our satellite stores out of business if they already exist.
Right.
So
maybe a contingency in there that just with the satellite stores and the other companies that you're going to involve in the mall where they aren't competing in
where they're not right. So if you started selling appliances, we wouldn't have an appliance store move in.
Right.
Now on the other side of that, if we have an appliance store and you want to start selling appliances, maybe have a waiting period before you can start selling appliances in this location, to give that satellite store an opportunity to consider their options to relocate.
Right. And just on that thought, I mean, we're in lots of other malls throughout the nation, you know, bigger malls, just like you guys are building. And I know, although it's of course it's not ideal to have, you know, a Payless store and a Foot Locker right next to each other, or anything that's selling the same kind of item. But I mean, you think of all the clothing stores that are in a mall, and really, as far as location, if you guys could kind of figure out something where when you're going and looking for these companies and picking out locations, I mean, it's competition. You know, that's how businesses grow. You know, that's how they flourish. And so, if there is another company that's selling appliances or anything, as long as they're not close to our store, you know, within the
that's true.
parameter, then I feel like, I mean, it's a fair business if they decide to move in. So,
you'd be open to that?
We wouldn't be too worried about that.
Okay.
So, just as long as they're not right next to us, I mean, we still want to kind of maintain that reputation. You know, we're the main anchor store, but I mean, even if we decided to sell some other products similar, but just as long as they're not within, you know, a certain radius of our business. If they're somewhere else in the mall, it's a smaller company, you know, they're still competing, and I mean, that's how the business world works. So
okay, well, if you're okay with that, then, you know, we can just make sure that our satellite stores are aware that, hey, this is a competitive space. We're not going to put you right next to each other, but you could be at other ends of the mall.
All right. Okay.
And
so would that open up kind of more possibilities, just to make sure that we're in control of like software or soft goods and hard goods, and if we come out with other goods and products, then it would still be a competitive market.
Yeah, I mean, as long as, you know, this location is in line with your other 200 locations. I mean, of course, you sell a few different things at different locations, but I mean, if the whole discount store's chain starts selling a new item, then yeah, of course you're gonna start selling that item.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we just wanted to make
yeah,
sure, just,
yeah.
we don't know how all the other stores are gonna work throughout the years, but we just wanted to make sure that was all right, so.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Awesome. So yeah, this is sounding pretty good. If you want, we could probably start writing up the agreement, at least with the few things that we've agreed upon so far.
Yeah, are you okay with the 10 years for assignment and 5-year for subletting?
With, I'm feeling pretty good about the subletting. I think we for sure want to be there as long as we can. The 5 years for the subletting. And the 10 years, I mean, it's a good amount of time, so we could probably do that as well. Just 10-year mark, and then if we had any problems or needed to reassign the lease, then we could do that.
Right.
No, that sounds pretty fair to us.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just go over that real quick. So the 5-year for the sublet.
Up
10-year
to half the store?
Yeah, up to half the store.
Okay.
For the sublet, and then 10-year for the lease of, either the whole store
Assignment,
or
yeah.
part of the store. Assignment, sorry. And then we would have control over the products and how we have the store layout and all of that. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there any other concerns that you would have with the position with this?
I don't think so.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, we'll write this up and see if we can get it all approved, and I think we should be good to go.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah.